Hello everyone, welcome to UrbanPro Live Masterclass. We are here with yet another interesting and informative masterclass for you. This is Sinchana from UrbanPro team, your host for today. Before we proceed further, we would like to inform all the attendees and YouTube viewers that UrbanPro is India's largest and most trusted learning network with over 7.5 lakh tutors and trainers. Through UrbanPro, you can easily find highly skilled and trusted personal tutors and trainers for your learning requirements. Okay, so coming back to today's session, we are presenting an interactive live masterclass on how to prepare for IELTS. But before we kickstart the presentation by our speaker, I would like to address our attendees and YouTube viewers that in case you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the Q&A on your Zoom control panel. Moving on for those YouTube viewers, you can drop your questions on the chat box. And don't worry about your questions, we will bring them after the presentation as we will have time for questions at the end. All right, without further ado, let's welcome our speaker, Mr. Saran Sekaran. He is an experienced and well-trained IELTS tutor with over 5 years of teaching experience, and he is popular among his students for his, unique teaching skills and his ability to provide clarity on subjects. So, a warm welcome to you, Saran. We're thrilled to have you here.
Good noon. Thank you, Sinjana. Yes, as she said, I've been teaching IELTS for more than 5 years, and I have a great success rate with the students. So let's straight away start the class. Let me share my screen. So in today's session, we'll be looking at some listening and reading questions. I mean, the most difficult questions. For example, in listening, we'll be seeing how to solve the MCQs, and with reading, true, false, not given questions, and also yes, no, not given questions. Maybe if I get time after this, I may provide feedback for some students regarding the writing. So let's start with listening now. So with basically with the MCQs, there are some steps to be followed. So first, you have to read the question in the given time. Basically, they will give you some time before they play the audio. For example, it depends on the number of questions, like 10 seconds or 20 seconds. So during that time, we have to go through the questions quickly, and we have to mark the keywords. So keywords are something which I'll be explaining later in the demo session now. And you should also look for the synonyms in the audio, and which I'll be showing a small demo now. Okay, so this is an example multiple choice question. Okay, so here the first question, the survey found that the majority of the students drink. So here, as I said, first we have to mark the keywords. So keywords are something which are unique in the question. We have to ignore the common things in the question. For example, here the survey and drink. So here the audio is going to be about the survey and what the students drink, but we have to know what the majority of the students drink. So here majority is our keyword. So only with this keyword it will be easy for us to identify the answer. So now let me play the sample audio so that you will get a better idea. So just give me a minute. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. Just give me a second. Uh, Playing the audio for the first one. Sorry. Hang on. Sinchana, can you hear my audio? I think I have to change my audio settings.
Yes. Are you
Okay.
playing the audio now?
Yes. Okay, I've changed my settings. I'm playing the audio for the first one.
Recording 7.
I can hear.
1. We
I
had
also
a
believe all the audience can hear the audio. You can give in your reactions by giving a thumbs up or something. Um, yes, they can hear. They can hear. They
Okay,
can hear, Saran. You can go ahead.
all right, thank you. So I'm playing the first question now.
recording 7. 1.
We had a good response to our survey, and we found that while 80% of our students drink coffee, only 15% drink tea, with the rest preferring water.
So here the speaker mentioned 80, 20, and then the rest. So the keyword was a majority in the question. Basically, in the audio, they don't repeat the same word. They may use a synonym. So, but here they haven't used a synonym. They have mentioned the percentage of drinks. So he said 80 percentage drink coffee and 20 percentage drink tea, and the rest preferring to water. So here our answer is coffee. So this is how the keyword helped us to find the answer. Okay. So now let me explain the sorry second, third, and the fourth question. So I'll be playing continuously. So when you look at the second question here, the options are lengthier, and if you keep looking at your options while playing the audio, you may miss the information. So what we have to do is we have to mark the keywords for in the options. For example, as I said, we have to ignore the common things. I mean the common words. So when you look at all the three examples, all the three options, you can see skiing. Skiing is a common word which is mentioned, and also Americans. So we have to ignore these words. And let us see what is the question. What point does the speaker make about skiing? So he's going to say something make about. He's going to say something, some information regarding skiing, which we have to find out. And if you see the options, small percentage is suitable, surprisingly large number like, and relatively small portion have tried. So these are our keywords. And remember one thing, um, if you look at the first question, they have mentioned all the options in the audio when it comes to multiple choice. But sometimes they may not represent all the three options. They may go with one or two options, or even just one option. So you have to listen to the audio carefully. So now let's listen to this one. I'm playing the second question.
2,
Over 800,000 people in the U.S. are estimated to have tried skiing. This may seem a large number, but it represents just over 0.26% of the total population of 300 million. So, per capita, it is surprisingly small.
So here maybe this will be like quite difficult, because we will be looking at this small percentage and surprisingly large number, and especially for this question, if the students what they infer from the audio is when they get to know the summary of the audio. For example, here they mention the total population of the US, and after that they said how many of them have tried skiing. So we got this word tried skiing in the audio. So we have to just come to this option, and we have to look at it keen, like what they're trying to say exactly. And she said like some percentage which is relatively, I mean, which is smaller when it compares to the overall population. If you want, I will play it again for your clear understanding.
0.26 estimated to have tried skiing.
2,
Over 800,000 people in the U.S. are estimated to have tried skiing. This may seem a large number, but it represents just over 0.26% of the total population of 300 million. So, per capita, it is surprisingly small.
Okay, so hope you got a better understanding, because they said the total population, and when it compares to here, it is relatively smaller. Okay, and let me go the third question. The number of wild elephants in Africa is estimated to be at least. Just give me a minute, please. I'm sorry for that. The number of wild elephants in Africa is estimated to be at least. So here, when you look at the option, when you look at the question here, if you see the keywords are something unique. So as I said, we have to ignore the common things. The number of wild elephants. The whole audio is going to be about the wild elephants. but we have to know what is in Africa and what is at least, because at least represents here the minimum count, and we have to know in Africa. Basically, in the audio, they don't give us direct answer. They will be like, giving two, like they will be mentioning one more information as a distractor, which we have to avoid it. So let me play the audio for the third one.
3,
It's estimated that India is home to between 38,000 and 53,000 wild elephants, while Africa has between 470,000 and 690,000. Exact figures are difficult to determine.
So here, if you see, they mentioned India as this number, and in Africa, they have mentioned that they have from this number to this number. This is the minimum to the maximum. So at least is a keyword, and our answer is B, because this is the least count. This is the minimum number. So here, if you see in this question, India was our distractor, and also this number. Mostly, as soon as the students hear this number, they'll think this is an answer. But if you see, they have mentioned the count in India and not the Africa. So listen to the audio carefully. The answer may be in the starting of the audio and even at the last line or even the last word in the audio. So please pay attention and listen to the full audio, for each question. So this is what I'm trying to explain. So let us look at the fourth one. According to the speaker, which two can weigh the same? Okay. So here, which two can weigh the same? So he's going to say something, and we have to know weigh means the equal weight. Like weight. So we have to know whether it is a tongue of a blue whale and an elephant, or elephant and a blue whale, or a bus and an elephant. Okay. So let me play the fourth one. So remember one thing, as I said, they may mention all the options. For example, they may mention the tongue of a blue whale, elephant, and also the bus, and also blue whale. That's a difference. So you have to listen to the audio carefully, and one more thing, do not guess the answer with your own knowledge. That is not possible with IELTS. So please pay attention to the audio and decide based on it.
4,
An elephant can weigh between 2.5 and 5 tons. This is comparable to the tongue of the blue whale, which alone can weigh 2.7 tons. In fact, a blue whale can weigh 15 times more than an elephant and can grow to about 10 times the size of a standard bus.
So here in this audio, they mentioned 2.7, and which is comparably approximately equal to blue whale, which is 2.5. The tongue of a blue whale. And after that, they mentioned that it is 15 times greater. It is 15 times bigger than an elephant. And also, they also compared 10 times to the bus. Let me play the audio again.
In fact, a blue whale can weigh 50. This is comparable to the tongue.
4,
An elephant can weigh between 2.5 and 5 tons. This is comparable to the tongue of the blue whale, which alone can weigh 2.7 tons.
So here they are mentioning that the elephant can weigh between, and it is equal to the tongue of a blue whale.
In fact, a blue whale can weigh 15 times more than an elephant.
So here, in fact, means they are trying to explain in detail. So if they mention any contradicting words like however, but, or in fact, we have to listen to the audio carefully, that they are trying to change the answer, which they're going to mention some additional information. So here they said that it is 15 times greater than an elephant, and they have also mentioned the B option,
and can grow to about 10 times the size of a standard bus.
and they are also compared to a bus, but it is 10 times bigger than it. So here the question is, which two can weigh the same, and which is option A. So this is how the keywords helped, And let me show you another example multiple choice question. Okay, so here we have 4 questions. The only difference here is the options are a bit lengthier, and here they have already marked the keywords for you. This is just for your understanding. So let us look at the first question. What do they decide to do organize first? So here keyword is our organize first, because when someone is planning for a trip, they would organize many things, as they mentioned in the option: a place to stay, airfares, and car hire. So we have to know what did they first decide. So that is our keyword. And yeah, let me go question wise. I'll try to play the audio for this one.
Recording 14. 1.
We really need to organise our trip, you know.
I know. I was thinking the same. We need to arrange accommodation and flights.
And we'll need transport while we're there.
Sorry to interrupt. So here, as I said, they don't repeat the same words as it is in the answers. So here, instead of a place to stay, they have mentioned accommodation, and airfares, they said, I think, flight, and transportation for car hire. So they don't repeat the same words. It will be the exact synonym or the paraphrase of the question. So I'm playing the audio.
We could hire a car.
My dad said we could borrow his.
Well, that's one less thing to worry about.
I'm a bit worried that hotels will all get booked up.
OK, let's sort that out straight away.
Yes. Then I can contact the travel agent and book our flights in the morning.
Great.
So again, here they have mentioned all the 3 options. When they spoke about car, they decided to get one from their, I think, from their dad. And when it comes to the when it comes to the accommodation, they were worried about whether we have to book in the first place. And when you see, when 2 people speak, we have to know what decision they make based on the conversation. So here, on the third one, they said airfares is our, which they're going to do it later. I just want to explain that particular conversation.
And we'll need transport while we're there. We could hire a car.
My dad said we could borrow his.
Well, that's one less thing to worry about.
I'm a bit worried that hotels will all get booked up.
OK, let's sort that out straight away.
Yes. Then I...
So when she said, he agreed, yes, and they both agreed together. So that is how, when 2 people or even 3 people speak, that's how they decide, and we have to listen to their conversation.
Can contact the travel agent and book our flights in the morning.
Great.
2.
Okay, so now in the second question, again, they have marked the keywords. What change will they make in the garden? So they're going to make some changes, and whether it is improving the shade, removing the plants, or the water feature, adding a water feature. So now let's listen to the audio.
I just wanted to tell you about some of the recent changes we've made to the garden at the back of the complex, which we all have access to. As you know, there are some attractive and well-established plants in there, and we didn't want to take any of these out. But many of these are struggling in the harsh sun, which falls directly on that area. To solve this, we're going to plant trees along the western edge of the garden, just near the pond. This should also become a very pleasant place to sit and watch the ducks in the water.
So here, the distractor is water, because some students, they may select this option as the speaker mentioned, water, but that is not the thing. So first thing they said, they were speaking about the option B, that they're not going to remove any plants, but some of the trees are they are suffering from the scorching weather, so they've decided to plant some more trees to improve it. They didn't mention improve the shade, they didn't mention this word, but they paraphrase the sentence. They're trying to say that they're going to plant more trees which will help them away from the sun. And here, the pond, they didn't say, they just mentioned about a pond, but they didn't mention that they're going to add a water feature. So here the option is A, improve the shades. let's look at the third one. What do the students agree they need to do with their project? So here it's all about with the students, they agreed something to do with their project, and we have to know whether it is research or do more research or make more cuts or add some more visual effects. So now let us listen to this question.
3.
It's nearly there. I think we've found plenty of information.
Yes, lots. In fact, do you think we need to reduce any of it?
Not at all. In fact, I was thinking we could try and include some of those nice graphics you found.
OK. It would certainly make it look a bit more interesting.
4.
So here they mention only this option, that they're gonna add some graphics. So graphics, which is the paraphrase of visual effects. Okay, so the answer here is C. Remember one thing, as I said, as I'm keep saying this, the same words will not be mentioned in the audio. It will be the paraphrase or a synonym. So let's look at the fourth one. The scientists are studying. So they are studying something. Let's look at here. If you see, the options are quite difficult when you, I mean, like if you don't mark the keywords. So let's see here how snow forms. So it is, this option is about snow forms, like how the snow forms in different conditions, the effect that snow has on our climate. So it is the effects on the climate. So that is how it's easy for us when you listen to the audio, and if you look at the options, it will be easy to mark our answers. So that's how they have marked only the important words. And the option C, the effect different clouds have on snow. So now let us listen to this question.
Studying ice cores in the South Pole can tell us a lot about the past climate, which, in turn, can help us understand how today's climate is changing. My particular area of study is snow. While we scientists understand the process of how snow is created, very little is known about how snow interacts with the atmosphere and influences our weather patterns. One of the things we're trying to do is to link what we already know about meteorology and clouds and determine the impact that snow has on that.
So here, if you see, the main topic is all about snow, and uh, they are trying to study about the impacts means the effort. So that's why the keywords are important. So they have used a synonym, and atmosphere, which is they have compared that with atmosphere. So here the option is B. Let me play it again. If you're not sure, you can listen to the audio carefully.
Is snow. While we scientists understand the process of how snow is created, very little is known about how snow interacts with the atmosphere and influences our weather patterns. One of the things we're trying to do is to link what we already know about meteorology and clouds and determine the impact that snow has on that.
Okay. So I hope this helps. Now let us go to the PDF. Okay. So here the next thing, reading. So in reading, I'm going to explain true, false, not given questions. So again, here there are some steps to follow. It is same like the listening. First, we have to read the question and mark the keywords. So again, here keywords will help us to identify the sentence in the passage, and we have to look for that keyword, and we have to match that with the statement. If you find that exact synonym in the passage, I mean the word from the statement to the passage, you will definitely find that exact answer in the same sentence. I'll explain that in the class, I mean later in the class. The answers will be in the passage in a sequential order. So here, remember one thing, for this type of question, the answers, it will be in a sequential order. So let me go with the demo. So true false not given questions, or they'll give you a passage. So this is an example passage, and they'll give you some list of questions. So you have to like match. I mean, for example, if the statement agrees with the information in the passage, then it is true. If it is contradicting to each other, then it is false. And if the information given in the question is not available in the passage, then it is not given. So now let us look at the first question. So remember one thing, first we have to read the question and then we have to go for the passage. So the first question, Luke Howard invented the term urban heat Thailand. And to have a better understanding, you can read it in reverse. So urban heat Thailand was invented by Luke Howard. So if you read it in reverse, you will remember the information and you no need to, just go back. When some students read the passage, they may forget the question. So they keep coming and then looking at the questions. So that will waste your time. I mean, time management is more important in reading. So if you read it in reverse, you'll have a better understanding that Herbani Thailand was invented by Luke Howard. So you have a clear idea like what you have to look for. So here the keyword is Luke Howard invented the Herbani Thailand. So we have to look for the word Luke Howard. So let us read from the beginning. So here they have mentioned Luke Howard, but let's see whether they have mentioned any information that he has invented this place. He has identified some emerging problem. So again, they have mentioned Howard here. He noticed the temperatures difference and becoming higher those in the rural areas. We now refer to these areas as urban heat islands. So here, if you see this line, we now refer to these areas as urban heat islands. So we refers to the people or the writer. So here it's not about the Howard who invented this place, because it's the people who refer this place as urban heat islands. But what does the statement says? It says, look, Howard invented the term. So here the answer is false, because the question says look Howard invented, but the statement says we now refer to these areas. So we refers to the people. I mean the people in that place who, I mean, like they named this place as urban heat. So it's not Luke Howard. So the answer here is false. So as I said, it will be the answer. It will be in a sequential order. The second question. Let's read the second question. City temperatures are higher than the country temperatures, regardless of the season. So here, if you read it in reverse, regardless of the season, the city temperatures are higher than the country temperatures. So we have to look for this particular information. So we found our first answer here, and we're not going to read it from beginning again, because as I said, the answer will be in a sequential order. You can, I'm sure about it, because you can go ahead with, I mean, from the upcoming lines. Don't read it from the beginning and waste your time. Okay, so from this we have to read it. The difference in temperature is usually greater at night, and the phenomenon occurs in both winter and summer. So here this sentence is saying something, the temperature difference, and also it occurs in both winter and summer. So if you see here, this question has two information. For example, city temperatures higher than country temperatures, and which they have mentioned here. Temperatures is usually greater at night, and the phenomena occurs in. And here the second information is regardless of all the season, which occurs in both winter and summer. If you see here, they have also mentioned that which occurs both winter and summer. So here all the information is matching to the information in the passage. So the answer is true. Third one, experts have failed in their efforts to create heat reflecting concrete and brick. So here our keyword is heat reflecting concrete and brick, which the experts have failed to make. So this is how you remember the question. So again, here we have to start from here, because we no need to read from the beginning. As I said, it will be in a sequential order. We found the keyword here. Experts agree that this is due to urban developments, which open green spaces are replaced. So they are replaced with something, and tall brick or concrete buildings. So here, if you see, they have mentioned some information about the experts, but did they mention anything that they have failed in making these concrete walls? No. they haven't mentioned any information. So if you're doubtful with this question, I'm actually doubtful because they haven't mentioned any information that they have failed. So I'm going to the fourth one. So Atlanta has experienced more dramatic weather change than other areas of the US. So I'll come back to the third one after doing my fourth one. I'll try to say why it is. So here Atlanta has experienced more dramatic weather change than other areas of the US. So when compared to the other areas of the US, Atlanta has experienced more weather dramatic changes. So this is how you understand the question. So now let's look at for Atlanta in the passage. So when you see here, Atlanta is here. In the US, this has even led to thunderstorms occurring in the morning rather than, and it is more common, okay, in the afternoon. And officials are advising builders to use light colored roofs in the bed to reduce the problem. Okay, I think if you see here, they have mentioned some information regarding Atlanta that they have. That they have dramatic weather changes because they have mentioned led to thunderstorms occurring, which is more common. But if you see the rest of the information, have they compared it to the other areas of the US? Because that is what the question says. So there's no comparison here. But when you see only this half of the information is given in the question that they have dramatic weather change, but they didn't compare to the other areas of the US. And if you see in the passage, it is true because like only half of the information is given. That is what I'm trying to say. That they have mentioned only about the weather changes and they haven't compared it to the other areas of the US. And if you're not sure, you can also go read ahead. Let's see if they mention any information regarding comparison with other states of the US. Strategies uncommon. They have said something about the roof walls of the large buildings, and they have went to Singapore, and they have said they're saying something about the competition, and so you can clearly see that only half of the information is given. So in this case, the answer for the fourth question is not given because only half of the information is given, and half is not given because they haven't compared to the other areas of the US. Okay, so remember one thing for not given question. For true question, the whole information should be given in the passage. If half of the information is given and half is not given, then it is not given. So the answer for the fourth one is not given. So now let's go back to the third one because as I said, the answer it will be in a sequential order. The fourth one we found it here, and the third one and the second one we found it here. So our third answer will be in between this. So now if you're not sure, you can go read the question again. So the experts have failed in making these concrete bricks. Let's see. So as I said, we have already read these lines because they haven't mentioned anything regarding the failure of their project with making their concrete bricks or the tall bricks or concrete. They have only mentioned about the specifications of that, like how it works and everything, but they haven't mentioned that they have failed. So here again, the information is not given. So answer for the third one is again not given. Let's look at the fifth one. Roofs that are dark in color help to address the issue of urban heat islands. So here, to address the issue of urban heat islands, they have used the dark roof helps us to find it. The dark colored roofs. So this is how you understand the question. Let's look for the dark colored roofs. So we found the fourth one here, and we have to read it from here. Officials that are advising builders to use light colored roofs in a bit to reduce the problem. Okay, so here they are saying dark color to issue the address, but here they are saying light colored. So it is contradicting to each other. So that the answer here is false. Sixth one, Singapore's super trees are made entirely from natural materials. Okay, super trees are made entirely from natural materials. That is what they're trying to say. Let's look at what is super trees and how they are made, whether it is made completely from natural materials. So we have to read it from here. If you see Singapore, okay, the government has pledged to transform the garden, and they implemented a competition master plan to help bring this about. One outcome was the creation of 18 super trees. Okay, here we got the information regarding super trees. These metal constructions are made to resemble very tall trees and range in height between. Okay, so here they are trying to describe What are super trees? They are saying these are metal constructions. But here in the question, what does it say? Are made entirely from natural materials. So again, it is contradicting because these are metal constructions and here it is made from entirely natural materials, which is contradicting. The answer is false. And seventh one, designers of the super trees originally planned to plant very tall trees. So here the designers have decided something that they have to originally plant the very tall trees. Let's look for designers word because designers is our keyword. If you just quickly skim through the passage, so from here we have to read it, and they are trying to explain how does it look. The structure allow the designers. Okay, the designers yes here. So we have to read this sentence carefully. Their structure allow the designers to create an immediate canopy without having to wait for trees to reach such heights. So here we found the word designers, but they did they mention any information regarding that they originally planned? No, they haven't mentioned any information regarding this. So okay, the answer is not given because they have mentioned some other information which is irrelevant to the sentence. Okay, and if you're not sure, you can read the last line as well. They contain solar panels used to light the trees, and again they haven't mentioned that they originally planned. And the eighth one, super trees require regular maintenance. So regular maintenance is required by super trees. So let's look at, we have only this last sentence left. They contain solar panels used to light the trees at night and also contain to collect rainwater, making them truly self-sufficient. Making them refers to the super trees. So what are they? They are truly self-sufficient. Self-sufficient means which does not depend on anything. So here, that's why I keep saying that synonym plays a vital role. Just one word will decide your answer because here they said they require regular maintenance, but here they say it's truly self-sufficient, which does not depend on anything. So it is false. Okay. So let me show another example, maybe one or two questions in yes, no, not given questions. So page number 75. Okay. I hope you guys are clear with yes, true, false, not given questions. Even yes, no, not given questions are similar to true, false, not given questions. But here, only thing is we have to identify whether it is a view or a claim. And based on that, we have to decide our answer. Let me show you an example. Okay, so this is a passage. And they have given some questions here, down here. 2.2. I'm going to explain the first question because it is going to be the same. I mean, like as we did true, false, not given question. As I said, we have to identify the difference between view or a claim. Let me show another example. This is just an example question. So if you see here, view is something, it's a personal opinion, but claim is something which is represented as a fact. So if you see here in the first question, like hundreds of development nationwide, they were the result of the post-urban renewal. This is something, an example question. So we have to know whether it is a view or a claim. If you read this question and you couldn't see any opinion-based words. So this is like they have represented as a fact by the writer. And but if you see here, let us look for the third one. Okay, let's go for the fourth one. We'll have a better understanding. There is a kind of uniformity to the Lafayette Park townhouses when viewed from the outside. So this is something a view because an opinion. Because when he or the writer or the writer viewed from the outside, he found this uniformity. So this sentence is a view. Okay. So now let's go with this question. It is the era in which Lafayette Park was developed that makes it special. So here again, if you read the question in reverse, it is special because uh, that the Lafayette Park was constructed in that year. So that is why it's special. Okay, this is how we understand the question. So now let's look at why it is special. That whether it is special because of the era it was built. Let's go to the passage. So this is the heading, and this is the subheading. So do not ignore the subheading as well. Please read it from the subheading. It's a group of modernist townhouses. Okay, a few blocks east of downtown Detroit. So it's an enclave of, you have to know why it is special. And I mean, like, it is they have mentioned it is special because of that particular year which they developed this park. Okay, townhouses and like hundreds of developments nationwide. They were the result of post-urban renewal. Unlike most of them, it had a trio of world-class designers behind it. Okay. So here they mention like it had a trio of world-class designers behind it. And if you see, they haven't mentioned any information regarding the era. Era means, I mean, they would have at least mentioned some year. Okay, let us read. Let us read further. Maybe they have mentioned here some years. The downtown was built between on land previously occupied by a world-class neighborhood, while much of Detroit began a steep decline. But they haven't mentioned anything special that, it's only because of that era. But if you see here, it is only because of it had a world-class designers, and it's not because of the year. It is special. So again, the information here is contradicting to each other. The answer is no, because if you see here in the question, it says it is the era, but in the question it says it has world-class designers. Okay, now let us go with the second question so that you will get a better understanding. As I said, it will be in a sequential order. So again, question, since 1962 many people have moved away from Detroit. So from Detroit they have moved since 1962, like many have moved. Many, look at this, I mean, this word is important because they have mentioned many people. Okay, which is after 1962. So 1962 is mentioned here. Let's read this line carefully. The townhouses were built between on previously occupied world-class neighborhood, while much of Detroit began a steep decline soon after. Okay, we found the answer here because they say while much of Detroit began a steep decline, and here they say it's there many people have moved, and here the information is true because they are agreeing with that. They're saying that it had a steep decline after that. And if you read, I mean, there is no point in reading the next line because it's already agreeing with the statement, so the information is matching and it is yes. Okay, so this is how you solve yes no not given questions or true false not given questions. I hope this demo was useful to you guys. And now let's go to the Q&A session. If you have any doubts, you can raise your questions. Thank you.
Um, if you all have any questions, then you can put them up in the chat box, and we will bring them up. Any doubts or anything that you want to ask him? Okay, so let's just take this up. First one is. Kranti Sudha says we now refer these areas. This would be the sentence which is false. The difference in temperature is usually greater at night. Sentence. Can you analyze this, Saran?
The difference in temperature is usually greater at night. This would be true sentence. Sentence would be false. We know that. Okay. Let me go back to the question. Just a minute, I forgot the page number. It's 58. Okay. Okay. So here I think she is asking about the second question: city temperatures higher than country temperatures. Let me check.
I think she says she's given
It's a
the
different.
answer. All right, okay. Um, there is Saubhagya Lakshmi says, can
Okay,
you suggest
yeah,
any books for our preparation?
I recommend to go with Cambridge books, and which is like they have from Cambridge 1 to 15, which is available on online. So do not refer to any other books because the standards may vary, and if you do practice other books, um, your mock test scores may differ, and that will hinder your confidence. So better always stick to Cambridge book materials, please.
Bikash Kumar asks if he could get the recorded video of this live session. Of course, you would be getting the recorded version of this. The link would be shared with you. I will put them up in the chat box as well. You can go to the YouTube channel and view it there. Okay. Any other questions? You can quickly put it up and then we can wind this up. Okay, so due to time constraint, we need to wrap our session for today. I hope we've answered all the questions. And as we've reached to the end of the session, I would like to inform you that this session has been recorded and it will be available on UrbanPro's YouTube channel. You can find the link in the chat box as well. To connect with our speaker, book a free demo by clicking on the link shared in the chat box or in the description. Again, the link for Saran's profile is shared in the chat and also in the description. And to also get regular updates on interactive live masterclasses and informative lesson videos, do subscribe to our YouTube channel. And your feedback is really valuable for us. It will help us improve and bring masterclass topics of your choice. So do not forget to fill up the form post session. And before we take a leave, I would like to thank our speaker, Mr. Saran, for this amazing session and also for investing his valuable time, and also all our attendees for being such wonderful audience. So stay tuned, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all.